Hi, welcome to Gentle Yoga. My name is Katherine. Today we're going to need a chair and a towel or a blanket or something. Just something you can fold up, sit on, and also protect your knees. If you choose to do hands and knee stuff, I'll give you some variations if you don't want to put any weight on your knees. So let's begin on our backs in constructive rest pose. You can just put your blanket or towel off to the side. So in constructive rest pose, we're letting the knees or the thighs touch and the feet walk apart, creating an internal rotation of your thigh bones. So your inner thighs are rolling towards the bottom of your mat. And once you get there, just take a big morning stretch with your arms. Like inhale, reach the arms away from the legs. Maybe yawn if that feels nice. And then releasing the arms either alongside the body, or you can rest them on your heart or your belly, whatever feels nice for you right now. So we'll just take a few moments here just to connect to ourselves in this moment. So first, just noticing whatever sensations you're experiencing in your body. If you're like me, maybe you have like more awareness around the achy parts or the tight parts. They kind of jump out at you first. So acknowledge those spots, but then also drop in and see if you can find areas that feel good. Maybe it feels nice to feel your weight supported on the mat. And then see if you can find a place maybe that you don't really have awareness around, or you don't really pay attention too much. Like, I don't know, somewhere like the place between your second and third toes, right? Or maybe there's some particular, maybe behind your ears, noticing the skin behind your ears. And then dropping into your breath, slowing the breath down, deepening it. If you find you've got a lot of mind stuff going on, just imagine each exhalation, just letting it go for now. Each inhalation, aligning yourself with this moment in your body. A few more rounds like that. And welcoming yourself to this moment. Welcome to your practice. Float your eyes open, walk your feet towards each other till the heels are about hips width distance apart. We're going to begin with moving in and out of bridge. You're going to leave your arms along the floor for this version. And as you press your feet down, lifting the hips, doesn't have to be a big lift. Keep your gaze on the ceiling. On the exhale, slowly roll down your spine from the top to the bottom, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing the rear down last. And then inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, rolling down the spine. Use your tummy to really press the low back into the mat, and then the rear. Keep moving with your breath. See if you can even out the inhale to exhale as you do this. All corners of the feet are on the floor, and the thighs remain parallel even as you lift the hips. Now we'll add the arms. On an inhale, lift up, reach your arms up towards the sky and back behind you. Keep your gaze on the ceiling. Exhale, rolling down the spine, one vertebrae at a time, arms alongside the body. Let's do that a handful more times, moving with the breath. twice more. Maybe even pausing at the top of the breath and pausing as you exhale, the lungs are empty. Excellent. And then take your feet even wider, maybe as wide as the mat, and start to windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then gently drawing the knees into the chest. Let's just take a very simple twist. Arms go left and right. You'll swing your knees to the right, turning the head to the left. Stay here for one more round of breath. When the inhale arrives, come on back through center and exhale your way. Knees go left, head turns right. One round of breath here. The inhale brings you back through center, and then giving yourself a little hug. You can rock a little side to side. You could also rock up and down the spine. Some people really enjoy that. Eventually, we're going to rock ourselves up into a seat in some way. And for this seat, let's lift up our hips just a little bit. We're going to elevate them. We're going to sit up on our blanket. Crossing right shin in front of left. And then let's bring our right hand to the mat, just to the right. And inhale, sweeping left arm up for a side bend. On the exhale, I'm going to have you sweep the left arm out to the left. So you're going to kind of rainbow it back and forth. And then I'm going to add a head movement. So on the inhale, bicep by ear, turn the head to look at bicep. On the exhale, sweep the arm out, turn your head to look at right hand. Keep moving with the breath, releasing the left hip to the blanket, releasing it down. So you're turning the head away from the arm as it sweeps away. And then you're turning the head towards the arm as it comes in. Let's do that once more. And then we'll pause in the side bend, letting that bottom shoulder wrap down the back. Few breaths here, releasing that left hip down. Breathing a little bit more space and ease into the muscle between the rib cage on the left side. And then inhale one more time. Sweep that left arm out to the left. Rotate the left palm down. Let your head get as heavy to the right as it can get. Heavy, heavy, heavy. So now you're maybe feeling a stretch in the left side of the neck. That's what we're looking for. Move the shoulder blades back behind you, behind the heart. And then lead with that left arm to come up. So let the head stay heavy to the right as you lead with the left arm. Now left fingertips are going to touch the floor. Sit tall. Head still leaning to the right. We're just going to take a few moments, giving that left side of the neck a little bit of love. Now, you might find that just holding the head heavy to the right in a certain position is the place for you to be. Some folks really enjoy a little bit of movement to help release tension in the muscles. So if that's the case for you, you could nod your head. You could even turn your head to the right a little bit, chin towards shoulder. Let's take about 2 more breaths. Good. And then right hand, give your head a little help. Gently bring it back up through center. And hands on thighs. Exhale completely. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. And then exhale, fold over legs. Releasing your hips to the mat. Tuning into your breath, and see if you can send your breath all the way down into your belly, each inhalation. all the way down into your pelvis. Breathing the breath down low. Let's take about 2 more rounds like this. And then inhale and come on up. Just taking a moment to notice the sensations of the body. And then we'll do opposite side. So crisscross, left shin in front. Left hand comes to the mat. Wrap that bottom shoulder blade down as you inhale, right bicep by ear, side bend. Exhale, look at your left hand as you sweep the arm out. Inhale, look at bicep, sweeping right bicep over ear. Nice reach. Keep moving with your breath. Just imagine like you could be one of those windsock people outside of car dealerships. It's like the inhalation is animating that top arm to sweep up, all filling all the way up to the right fingertips with breath as you inhale. And then we'll pause in the side bend. Bicep by ear, feel the reach, releasing the right hip down. Wrapping your lower shoulder blade, the bottom one, towards the heart. Maybe even leaning the head back, the heart back a little bit. And now once again, sweep that right arm out to the right, rotate the right palm down, release your head to the left. Heavy, heavy to the left. Give it some time to really release. And then leading with the, leading yourself back up with the right hand, right fingertips to the floor, head stays heavy to the left. Find a nice stretch, a healthy feeling stretch on the right side of the neck, perhaps with stillness, perhaps with movement. And key here is sitting really tall. So you want to stabilize the lower, like the bottom part of your neck by sitting nice and tall, shoulder blades moving back. And then that way you have something for the neck to stretch against, right? It's hooked in here and you can lean that head. So the trunk doesn't go with the neck stretch. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then left hand, give that head some help. Just help it back up. Woo. Release. Exhale completely. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold over across the shins. And we'll pause here, releasing the weight of our bottom towards what we're sitting on. Guiding the breath gently into the pelvis as you inhale. Exhaling, relaxing, releasing. A few more rounds like this. Exhale completely here. And then inhale and come on up. Okay, so if you don't want to put weight on your hands and knees, stay here and just do a little bit of cat-cow, seated cat-cow. If you're okay with putting hands on your knees, weight on your hands and knees, then you can come off of your blanket and come to all fours. Nice thing to do for your knees, you could put a little blanket under them. And just some regular cat-cow, inhaling, broad chest, head and tail lift. Exhale, lift the spine, part the shoulder blades as you drop your head. And then just moving with the breath, or perhaps you find that one part of this cat-cow you want to pause in for a couple breaths. So give that gift to yourself. And then coming to neutral spine. Now, those of you who don't want to put weight on your hands and knees, please come lay flat on your belly, okay? Those of you who can put weight on your hands and knees, you're going to stay on hands and knees, and we'll do a little balancing cat. Left leg extends back behind you. Keep your tummy in, ribs up. Right arm reaches. Okay, you're going to pause here. Tummy folks, extend your arms forward. We'll do a locust. So left leg lifts, right arm lifts. And just pausing here. Not so important about how high you're lifting, rather, are you breathing? And imagine yourself like Gumby, getting really stretched, very long. Last round of breath. And release. Let's do the second side. So everybody does opposite leg, opposite arm that they just did. Those of you doing balancing cat, the hands and knees variation, sometimes there's a tendency to lift the hip of the leg that you're lifting. Try not to do that. Keep the hips level, tummy in, ribs slightly lifting, gazing at the floor as you get longer. Let's take about 3 more breaths. And then releasing back to the floor or back to hands and knees. Those of you who don't want to put weight on your hands and knees, please move to the chair. And I'd like you to sit heels under knees and just bring your forearms crossed to your thighs. Those of you who are okay with bringing weight on your knees and hands, you're going to step your right foot forward, coming into a lunge. Keep your left hand on the floor and reach your right arm up towards the sky. So I like to do this. Doing it like that. Those of you who are in the chair, keep your left forearm on your thighs and reach your right arm up. So we're kind of compressing our hip flexors as we're coming into a twist. Everyone's reaching the right arm up if that's available to you. If you've got a frozen shoulder or something, you could bring the right hand to your hip like so and just lift. Let's take one more round of breath. Good, and then fingertips back to the floor. Walk your right foot forward, come into half Hanumanasana, peeling the toes back. Okay, those of you who are in the chair, you're just going to keep your right foot forward and then folding forward. So we're all getting a nice stretch in the back of the right leg, like so. Let's see, okay. And really try to extend that right hip back in space. Take one more round of breath here. And then we'll step right knee next to left and second side. So starting right hand to the floor and left arm up. And you're always welcome to walk that bottom knee back further if you want a deeper stretch. Okay, those of you in the chair, of course, you're going to just do the second side. Maybe leaning the head and the heart back a little bit. One more round of breath. And then left fingertips to the floor. Now, Ardha Hanumanasana. You're going to walk the left foot forward, peeling the toes back. Those of you in the chair, you're going to kick that left foot forward and lean forward. And if you're leaning forward, those folks in the chair, be sure that you're not putting weight on the left leg. You want to put weight on the right leg, the one that is bent. Take one more round of breath, really reaching your heart away from your navel. Good, and then stepping back to hands and knees. Okay, so you're gonna either do cat-cow again on hands and knees, or just in the chair, stay there and do some cat-cow, please. Moving the spine. And then floor, folks, you're gonna step your right foot forward once again and just come up, hands on thigh. Those of you who are in the chair, you're gonna sit side saddle to your right and step your left foot back. Yeah. And so you're really feeling the chair support underneath you. And then we'll all lift our left arm up overhead. Draw your tummy in and take a little side bend to the right. And then coming up, maybe a little bit of a back bend, reaching the left arm up. Good, and then this is a little counterintuitive. Perhaps you're going to sweep your left arm out and open. So you're twisting away from your bent knee. On the exhale, come on out of it. Inhale, sweeping right arm up now. And then exhale, twisting to the right. Folks in the chair, you can do this too. On your next inhale, come on out of it. And then we'll place the hands back on the floor. And second side. So folks in the chair, you're going to sit side saddle to your left. We'll inhale the right arm up and side bend over to the left. Exhale completely here. And then inhale, coming back up, maybe a little bit of a back bend if that feels healthy for you. Good, and then we'll open up to the right. So the right arm sweeps out to the right. You're opening away from the bent knee. And then exhale, come on back through. Now we'll go the other direction with the left arm. Left arm lifts up, inhale, and then exhale, sweep it out to the left. All these twists can be really good for digestion. Inhale, coming out of it, and then stepping back through hands and knees. Those of you in the chair, come just sit regular style in the chair. We're going to do cat-cat. Inhaling, back bend. Exhaling, rounding. Very good. And then let's all come on up. We're going to turn around, face the chair, and take a chair dog. Of course, if you have a regular downward dog in your practice, you're welcome to do that. To do a chair dog, you'll have the first two legs of the chair at the front of the mat, and then hands on the chair, and you just step those feet back till the heels are generally around underneath the hips, and then extending thigh bones back in space behind you to help bring some traction to the spine. You've got a frozen shoulder and you can't extend your arms overhead like this. You could just bring the elbows to the chair, forearms parallel, And still enjoy the stretch in the back of the legs, a little bit of traction in the spine. Have your palms facing the ceiling. Good. Let's take about 2 more breaths here. Fabulous. And then come on up to stand. Maybe take a little step away from the chair. We'll do a few half sun salutations, beginning with the palms together in front of your heart. Just check that your feet, toes generally are pointing forward about a fist width distance apart. Exhale completely. Inhale, sweep the arms up. On an exhale, bend your knees and dive down, fingertips touching the floor. Maybe you get a block if you need here. On an inhale, come halfway up, hands to shins or thighs. Extend your spine forward. On the exhale, fold back down. Totally cool to have the knees bent if you need to. On the next inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together. Take a round of breath. We're going to do 2 more of these. Another option would be, if you can't touch the floor, is you could bring your fingertips to the chair as we fold forward. Exhale completely. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down. Gaze at the knees. Inhale, half forward fold. Extension of the spine. And then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reach up, stand up. Exhale, palms together at the heart. Round of breath. After your next exhale, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Gaze at the knees. Inhale, extension of spine, half forward fold. Exhale, fold, gaze back at those knees. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Feel your breath. Good. So now I'd like you to bring your gaze to rest on something eye level in front of you as we prepare for tree pose. Shifting the weight into the right foot, bending left knee, you're going to swing that left knee open, maybe bringing the heel to the ankle with that left foot, or you might even slide the foot up the leg a little bit below the knee or above the knee, your choice. And then taking a few breaths here. Perhaps you keep your hands at your heart. You're welcome to reach the arms overhead. And letting the eyes be still on one point can help you here. Last breath. And I'd like you to step your left foot back behind you for warrior 1. So your feet are about east and west, about hips width distance apart. And then you're going to bend your right knee bending over right heel. It can be just like a little baby warrior 1. Hands on hips, low belly pulling in. On an inhale, I want you to circle your left arm up, and exhale, circling it down. Keep moving with the breath. Now, if this range of motion, like a big circle like this, is not going to work for your shoulder, maybe you just do some little circles like that. So make this practice your own. And then we'll pause with the left arm up overhead. Perhaps add the right if you like. 1 round of breath. Keep the legs just as they are, that right knee bent over right heel. And then exhale, bring your hands to the chair. So our legs are in warrior one, that right knee is bent. We're going to let our belly fall to the inside of the right thigh. As we inquire and find a healthy stretch, hopefully behind the right thigh. So the hamstring is getting a little bit of a stretch here. Some of you may not need the chair. You could just bring your fingertips to the floor. You could totally do that as well. Let's pause here, a couple breaths. Great. Step your right foot back to a chair dog. Exhale completely. Slow breath in. And then as you exhale again, take a little walk towards the chair to come back up to stand. Mountain pose, palms together in front of your heart. Preparing for tree on the second side. So gaze comes something eye level in front of you. Stay connected to your breath as you shift the weight into your left foot and come into tree, second side, right knee bends. Maybe the palms stay together in front of your heart. Maybe you reach them overhead. Let's take a few more breaths. Really rooting down through your standing foot to help rise up away from the floor. Okay, step your right foot back behind you, warrior one, bending left knee. Okay, and balance will be more challenging if you have your feet on a tightrope. So especially if you feel kind of tight in the front of your hips, that's why coming hips width distance apart with the feet can be a real gift to yourself here. Hands to the hips, low belly pulling in, and then circling right arm, inhale up, exhale, circle it down. Doing our best to square the shoulders and hips towards the front of the mat. And stay rooted in that back foot. Next time the right arm comes up, you'll pause there. Please add the second arm if you like. Round a breath here. Keep the legs just as they are as we fold over our warrior one leg. So exhale, bringing the elbows to the chair. Belly comes to hang soft on the inside of the left thigh. Some of you may enjoy bringing your fingertips to the floor on either side of the front foot. You're welcome to do that. Just keeping that left knee bent. So we certainly could get that hamstring stretch even though that left knee is bent. Nice and strong in the legs. 2 more breaths. And then we'll step back to our chair dog. Let those knees bend here and see if you can turn this chair dog into a bit of a back bend. Even though you're folding forward, really flatten out the back and maybe even kind of let the heart kind of bow towards the floor. And you can even do this too, even if your shoulders are a little bit sensitive. You could let the heart come down towards the floor. The knees are slightly bent, maybe gazing forward. Last breath. Good, and then start to walk the feet forward. Come on up to stand. Tadasana, mountain pose. Notice the sensations of your body. Okay, let's come onto the floor, and we'll be done with the chair for now. So put that down to the side. Let's lay down on our belly. Doing a little bit of locust variation, bringing the right side of the face to the floor. And then on an inhale, I'd like you to lift your right leg, sweep your left arm out to the side. You're rainbowing it forward to the top of the mat as you gaze forward. Exhale, sweep left arm out to the left, return body to the floor, left cheek to the mat. Second side, inhale, lifting left leg, right arm rainbows out and up. Exhale, head turns left, return to the floor. Keep moving on your own, inhaling opposite leg and arm up. Exhaling, turning the head away from the arm that just was forward. Again, not important how high the leg lifts or the arm lifts, but rather you want a nice even sensation of strength in the glutes, the back, a feeling of length and stability in the body, and a feeling of ease in the breath. Once more on either side, and then we'll take a rest in crocodile. For crocodile, you're kicking your legs as wide as the mat, folding your forearms in front of you, and use those forearms as a rest for your forehead. You might like to let your heels swing in. That might feel nice. Do your best to let your body completely drop into the floor, belly soft. Using the floor as feedback for the breath. Balloon that belly into the floor as you inhale. So much that the low back expands as well. Exhale, release, 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 let go. Twice more like this. Okay, let's roll on to our right side. Bending the knees. And help your head, get your head comfortable in some way. Maybe that means you're propping up your head, maybe stuff a blanket under your head, whatever is helpful for you. I like to rest my head on my forearm or on my upper arm. And then we're gonna work on a little bit of hip mobility, spiraling the thigh in and out. So imagine that you have a hinge at your knees and you're just gonna lift the foot, the top foot, lift it and lower it. Bring your left hand to your thighs so you can just keep track of, as you do this, is the body swinging side to side a bunch? I'd like you to stabilize it and just a little lift. Maybe it's not a big movement, that's okay. But once again, you're spiraling your thigh in as you lift. What's nice about this is you're getting a little bit of stretch to the piriformis. This is if you ever had a pain in the butt, maybe that was your piriformis. Also, tight piriformis can sometimes be the cause of sciatica. If it's not from the back, the spine. Okay, now we're going to do opposite movement, clams. The feet stay together. You're going to lift the knee and close it. lift the knee, and close it. Once again, notice if there's a tendency for the body to kind of wag around as you lift the knee. Please try to stabilize it. Maybe going small and slow if you need to. Now we're working that piriformis. Piriformis helps open the knee. Good, and then we'll do both. Lift the foot, lift the knee, lift the foot, lift the knee. One more lift of the foot. Good, and then I'd like you to let's kick that left foot forward and try to straighten the left leg best you can. And I'm bringing this left foot as perpendicular to the mat as I can get it. Some of you, the leg may be a little bit lower. That's okay, but we're straightening it. Now left hand stays on hip. Then you're just gonna swing your right arm forward. Left shoulder swings away from right arm, and you're a little bit into a twist. It's almost as if your right arm, your right hand was going to try to catch that left foot. You might feel a stretch, or hopefully you're feeling a stretch in the outer left hip. As you extend that top hip, the left one away from the face. Good, and then coming back to support the head. The head's shoulders are stacked now once again. I'd like you to bend your left knee. And if you can, grab a hold of that left shin. Some of you might need to get a towel and wrap it around that left shin or left ankle. We're going to take it into a little bit of a quad stretch, swinging the knee away from the face. And if it's not accessible, if you can't grab the shin or the ankle, you could always just come into bridge pose. You get a quad stretch. It may not be like as strong, but you'd still get one. Good. And then release. Okay, let's go ahead and roll over to our second side. Get your head comfy, however you like to do it. And then we're going to start with just lifting the top foot and lowering it. Oh yeah, keep that right hand on the hip. Don't let those hips wag. I was starting to do it. Stabilizing the body to just focus on the internal rotation of your thigh. Okay, let's do the clams, lifting, lowering, knee lifts, feet stay together, knee lowers. And you might notice like, oh, maybe the body kind of wavers more while you're doing the hinges. That's where the one we just did, or maybe it's when you're doing the clams that the body wavers a little bit more. And then let's go back and forth. So lifting the foot, lifting the knee, lifting the foot, lifting the knee. I hope that your hips feel so good after this. Well, they may feel like they just got a workout, but hopefully they feel good and mobile. Okay, and we're going to end with the foot lift. So the foot lifts, the hinges, the knees stay together. And then bring it down. I'd like you to kick your top foot forward, reach through the heel, swing your bottom arm forward, and let your right shoulder roll away from your bottom arm. So you're kind of coming into a twist here. And again, it's like you would want to try to catch your right foot, your top foot with your left hand. We're extending the right hip away from the face. And so the hips are generally, they're like stacked, right? And the shoulders, they're going from a stacked position to a more open position. So right shoulder falls back, reaching through the heel of that top foot. Good, and then come back to a shoulder, like a stacked shoulder position. So I'm just gonna swing my bottom arm up and then now hips over each other, shoulders stacked over each other. And then you're gonna draw the top thigh into the chest, grab a hold of that leg. Maybe it's the shin or the ankle, and then start to extend the top knee away from the face to find that quad stretch. Last breath here. And then release. Let's roll onto our back. Draw your left knee into your chest. And then I'd like you to extend your right leg long. Uttanasana. Now I'd like you to keep your left hand on your left knee. And then this is a little bit of core work to help kind of balance, to help the back neutralize. Draw the low belly in. And on an exhale, lift your head and reach your right arm towards your right foot. You're going to reach, reach, reach. A variation of Jalandasana. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Low belly in. And then release. Second side, right knee comes into chest. Uttanasana. Take a slow breath in here. And then exhale, lifting the head and the shoulders and reaching left arm. Reaching, 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 reaching. Low belly in, almost like you're trying to push your low back to the floor. And then release. Drawing both knees into the chest, give yourself a big hug. And then releasing the feet to the mat. Let the knees swing apart. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined cobbler's pose. You can keep your arms swinging out left and right here. Or if it's accessible to you, bring your arms like a halo around your head. Just really loosely bending the elbows so that the backs of the hands can still rest on the floor. Maybe even walking the shoulder blades flat underneath you. And if the low back's feeling a little tense, you may need to lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Let your belly get really soft. And then moving the head a little left, a little right. And then rolling the head to the left. Pause there. And then rolling the head slowly to the right. Pause there, soften your jaw. soft belly. Good, and then come on back through center. Gonna help your knees close. And then extend your legs out long for relaxation pose. I encourage you to slide your shoulder blades down the back body and flatten them out underneath your heart. And then scan through the body and just see, are you able to completely release? Give yourself permission to relax into the floor. Maybe even wiggling your face if you feel like you have a little bit of tension in the face still, relax that face. And then we're going to take the biggest breath we can in and hold it for the count of 3, and then exhale completely as you're ready. Open the mouth, let it out. Shavasana. If you can stay longer in relaxation pose and would like to, please do. If you need to move on with the rest of your day, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And adding more and more movement until finally it culminates in a big morning stretch, reaching the arms and legs away from each other. And then drawing the knees into the chest. And then finally rolling to one side and finding a comfortable seat of your choice. We'll bring our palms together in front of our heart. Once again, checking in with the sensations of the body now. Notice the quality of your breath. And if you were able to cultivate any benefits from your yoga practice today, I encourage you to think of someone in your life you'd like to dedicate your practice to. Maybe someone who's having a hard time and could use a little bit of yoga, a little bit of relaxation. See them clearly. And we'll collect all the goodness up on the inhale. We'll send it out on an exhale. As you're ready, breathe it in. Send it out. See them feeling good. Smiling. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.